Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome to Healing the Inner You Radio. It's your girl, Nakia P. As always, you know that this show is about helping women identify their pain, helping them identify their trauma, and also providing resources to help them heal. And this show, we talk about healing eternally, dealing with ourselves, being accountable to ourselves, and learning different ways that we can heal ourselves. Okay. So I'm super excited, guys, because today I have a very special guest. We have Akiyla McQueen with us on today. She is also the front cover of our Healing the Goddess Within magazine. So I'm super excited about that. So we're going to bring Miss Akiyla on. Hi, love. How are you?
Wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, doing good. Super excited that you're here. Super excited that, you're going to be the front cover of our upcoming issue that will be launching next week. Yay. Everybody, y'all hear more about that later. But I'm super excited that you're here, love. So go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. My name is Akiyla McQueen. I like to consider myself a holistic engineer and a creator of sacred spaces for the evolution of consciousness. And I do so via retreats, one-to-one, intuitive counseling, self-mastery, coaching, as well as healing modalities through shamanic journeying, sound therapy, music therapy, Reiki, energy medicine, and different things of that nature. I have taken a journey through life that has brought me um, deep into my calling to be a facilitator and vessel, to be able to create healing spaces, not just for other people, but for myself. And once I seen the impact it's had on my life, I wanted to be able to do that for others. And so along my life journey is taking me through various certifications and degrees and initiations in order to help me to be um, a as great as I can be for others. And the journey is always continuing. I'm always still learning, always still continuously educating myself. I'm also a mother of three beautiful children. I homeschooled them their whole lives, and I'm an entrepreneur. So owning two businesses. And yeah, so that's a little bit about myself.
Awesome, power woman. I love it. I love it. So, for you being a healer, of course, you had to go through your own healing. If you don't mind, would you like to share with us what that looked like for you?
What did my healing look like for me?
Yes.
Oh, it's loaded. I would say that it looked like a lot of music,
Mhm.
a lot of crying, a lot of ego shattering, a lot of illusion shattering as well. It looked like a lot of support,
Mhm.
um, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. It looked like stepping up to be in positions that felt uncomfortable. Um, it looked like opening up my voice box, realizing in what areas I had been closing myself off from being heard,
Mhm.
and in what ways I was in survival mode. Just really recognizing my shadows, recognizing my strengths, my weaknesses, and how certain aspects of my personality made me more susceptible or vulnerable to find myself in certain experiences, not taking the accountability away from said persons, but in order for me not to repeat certain cycles, I had to really see myself. And I know that that's been a huge part of this healing journey is who are you, Key? And
Mhm.
how do you play a role in all of these things? So my healing looked like a lot of that.
Understandable. Healing is definitely a process, and one thing that I like to say is that it definitely looks different for all of us. Each one of us, have a different healing journey. No one's journey looks the same. So for you, Akiyla, what was your awakening moment that sparked you on your journey that you're on now?
Um, I would say that it was coming out of an abusive relationship. I was I grew up Muslim, but not for a long time.
Mhm.
My mom probably stopped practicing when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And my mom was very Black conscious, very um, woman know who you are
Mhm.
and you're a boss, you're this, you don't worry about leaning on no man type of energy.
Mhm.
um, but I still had a lot of things fighting against that because I was sexually abused as a child. Um, I also didn't grow up with my father. And so it kind of created certain voids in which I was like in search for certain things, which is why I found myself um, losing my virginity to somebody at 17 years old, who ended up being very emotionally and verbally and sometimes physically abusive. And once I left that relationship, I left it because I went to college. I went away to college. And it gave me that opportunity to be away. Because anytime I spent any time away from this person, I was like getting my mind back. And I'm like, why am I even in this relationship? But then I'd go home because I was only vacationing. But school, it was more permanent.
Mhm.
Um, and so it gave me this time to really like see the type of person that they were, and they were dealing with a lot of jealousy, a lot of anger, the fact that I was away. Um, and we ended up breaking up. And that wasn't unusual because we broke up so many times.
Mhm.
Um, but what was different was that I wasn't there anymore. And his reaction to us breaking up really was like tumultuous. Like, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill everybody you know, type of vibe. And that was really a catalyst for my healing because I was like, who am I?
Mhm.
I felt like going to school made me be like, who am I? And why am I? And what was the purpose of that relationship? And why did I was even with somebody like that in the first place, especially because it didn't mimic relationships before.
Mhm.
Um, I really before I was very much like, I don't want to see you every day. I'm kind of like not running the show, but I really had more of a stamp
Right.
on what I wasn't going to tolerate.
Mhm.
But with this person, I know it has a lot to do with me losing my virginity to this person and like tied to sexual abuse and stuff like that. But I really just didn't know who I was. And because I didn't know who I was, because being in that relationship, it stripped me of so many things, like from what music I like to the things that I like to do to how I presented myself, how I dressed. Like so many things changed about me being in that relationship that I really didn't feel like much of key was left.
Right.
And I was a musician and studying in school, studying music
Mhm.
and singing, well, specifically gospel music, even though I wasn't Christian, like really brought like all of this like anguish out.
Mhm.
And I started to see like why Christian people like really love to like be in worship and sing gospel music because it
Right.
really was doing something for me. And
Mhm.
that really kind of like opened me up to want to know what was this feeling that I was feeling. It was like spirit was around and this healing energy was in the space. And all I wanted to do was sing and sing about my trials and my tribulations. In that singing, all this stuff was coming out. And I started to really want to shift and change myself and find myself
Mhm.
again, since I had lost so many pieces of myself. So that was really like the catalyst to my healing journey, is coming out of that relationship and
Mhm.
starting a whole new journey of being in college away 8 hours away from home, on my own, becoming an adult, figuring out who I was. And it really did some major shifts in me. So that was a catalyst. That's like what made me want to figure stuff out. And then a lot of
Okay.
stuff happened after that.
Okay, okay. So that was the catalyst for you to start, exploring, questioning, and digging deep within and figuring out, who you were. That's awesome. That's awesome. So for you, after you made that choice and you're like, hey, I'm gonna figure me out. I'm gonna see what I want. You left that relationship. From that point, like how did your life transform when you started walking that path?
Tremendously. So I used to have a perm. I used
Mhm.
to eat meat. I was more concerned about like material things than I was about like self mastery. I
Mhm.
was a scholar, like always did well in school, but it became more about purpose than it was about whatever career I could get to
Right.
make money.
Mhm.
Um, I was I started off as a music major and then switched to business and accounting. I was really good at math. And so I was like, this corporate world is not me. Like it doesn't feel like me. I think I left business school like 3.8 GPA. My counselors was like, where you think you're going?
Mhm.
Like you're close to a 4.0, like you're a great scholar. Like I'm like, no, I can't be here. This is not me.
Mhm.
So starting that journey of healing from that relationship actually brought me into the church. And I started studying the Bible. I started going to church every Sunday. And I'm one of those people, like, if I learn about something, I'm like, I'm going to go all in, right?
Right.
So the Bible is like, oh, you're not supposed to do this, 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 this. So it was like all these things for the first time that I was like cutting out. I was cutting out listening to secular music,
Mhm.
cutting out watching certain stuff, not
Mhm.
cursing, being abstinent. Um, really focusing on service work and really like being the self that I was trying to hide for so long. Because I grew up in the hood, but then I lived in the suburbs. And so many people I never really felt like I could be all of me in one
Mhm.
place.
Right.
Like it's either I'm like you from the hood, but you too nice, or you suburbs, but it's like you kind of like weird a little bit. But you know what
Mhm.
I mean? It's just like something was always like never I could just be me. And so finding myself in the church, I could, do service work. I can help people and not feel weird about that. Not feel like I had to keep to myself because I'm from the hood and we in
Right.
survival mode and this kind of stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it was just um so taking the breaks and disciplining myself and doing all those things that really did a shift in me. But the more I read the Bible, I was like, but I don't think I believe this. Some
Right.
in here just did not line up. It also was creating a lot of cognitive dissonance inside of me because I was like, it's telling you women is the fall of man. And then we came from a rib. That doesn't make sense. And
Mhm.
slaves, you obey your master, your rewards in heaven. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And I would be in Bible study, like asking people, what do you think about this? Like, does this not make sense to you guys?
Mhm.
And people were just didn't think that I should be questioning in the way that I was. So I
Right.
had like this whole moment in the car where I was like, listen, God, I feel like you real, like your like spirit is real. But this Jesus thing, I can't get with. This Christianity thing, I can't get with. I feel like you're bigger than this book. I feel like you're trying to speak to me on much larger levels than this.
Mhm.
And I know you helped me, you made me want to get saved from this
Right.
relationship, being able to feel this presence.
Mhm.
But it's just not here. It's not in this. And if it's not, and I'm right, I want you to continuously guide my steps in that way. So I know for sure that what I'm feeling is real. Like be very
Yeah.
clear with
Mhm.
me. And that's exactly what happened. Like everything was very clear. And I moved towards that. So I denounced Christianity. I went through a
Mhm.
whole phase where people was calling me a devil worshiper because I didn't believe in Jesus. I chopped my hair off. from having a perm. I stopped wearing like Brooklyn, New York clothes, all the Jordans, the Timbs. It was just
Mhm.
like flip flops and grass skirts and on my fro and my guitar and sitting on the grass. And I went vegan and hugging trees and smoking a lot of weed and like
Mhm.
just on a very happy, peaceful vibe. And this was all at 19 years old. Like major shift happening at 19. And so that's where it kind of like took me. It was like, I want to be me.
Mhm.
Like, and I don't really care what anybody thinks. I like whether they like it, they don't like it, whether it's weird or it's not weird. Like I feel free in this aspect of myself.
Right.
And I just kept moving with that. You know, people thought it was weird cutting your hair. They're like, oh my God, you got long, pretty hair. Why would you do that? You know, it's just like all these reactions. And it didn't matter. It
Right.
didn't matter what anybody had to say. I was like, "Mm, okay." But like on deeper levels, it hurt because I was
Mhm.
like, why does anybody care about me just wanting to be me?
Right.
But the soul calling to be that was way louder. So
Mhm.
at first I'd be a little reactionary to people um having some fit about how I was changing. And then eventually I was like, I can't live my life for others. That's me doing that
Yeah.
again. That's me
Yeah.
people pleasing again, trying to be what everybody want me to be. And the more that I stayed true to me, the more everything around me started to shift. And
Mhm.
people who were actually my friends stayed around. People like even now to this day, that's like that felt weird about being vegan. I like, girl, send me your recipes. Or that felt weird about being natural, you know, got long, beautiful locks or froze and stuff like that. And so that's pretty much where that took me. It took me deeper into my spiritual walk, deeper into my consciousness, deeper into understanding shadow work, inner child work, trauma resolution, and all of my truth seeking was centered around understanding myself and how to
Mhm.
heal and how to break out of certain paradigms that I had thought were real or true when they
Mhm.
weren't.
That's awesome. And a lot of people do not realize that coming out of certain things like that is a process. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of deconstruction. It's a lot of figuring out you, kind of sorting through different beliefs, opinions, and all of that to
Mhm.
try to figure out which voice is yours, which one is just you and
Mhm.
not those around you. So I absolutely love that. So for you, you're a mom, you're homeschooling, you have two businesses, you and your husband are doing amazing things. How do you manage all that you do?
Mhm. Um, so I live community. My
Mhm.
best friend lives here with her children too, so I do have that extra support. Um, Organization, having structure. I'm Pisces, so I need flow,
Mhm.
but I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart too, so I still know how to make myself grounded and get stuff done. Very like high work ethic, make it happen. I'm really getting into like learning and understanding human design. I'm not thorough in it like I am in numerology
Mhm.
or like astrology, but I'm also a manifester. So it's like it's just the way that I'm designed helps
Mhm.
me to like be able to do what I set my mind to. If I set my mind to it,
Mhm.
I get it done.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that I don't have any trials and challenges because boy,
Mhm.
I'll be the first one to be on the floor crying snot nose, like it's too much. It's just too much. Like legit. Again, Pisces.
Pisces, okay.
Water just be everywhere, I'm not ashamed to say that it's hard,
Mhm.
and that I've experienced, days of just being anxious, days of feeling depressed that certain things happened in life. Not that I have any type of disorders within those things, but that I have those feelings.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel defeated. Sometimes I feel like God, why is so much on my plate, you know? But it's certain things in my life, like my children being home and homeschool. Like it could be easier. I could send them to school. Life can be a lot more easier as far as being able to run a home business. But it's more important to me to be the mom that I want to be and need to be for them than it is, you know, to have this space. Of course, would give me some room to breathe and rest and think, you
Right.
know, but that's more important. So my values are my driving force and how I get stuff done. And I'm okay with, all right, we didn't get that done today. All right, we'll try again tomorrow.
Right.
And get like comfortable with that. Cause at first I used to beat myself up over it. Cause I'm like, you gotta get this done, you gotta get this done, and this and this and this. But that was all like my ego feeling bruised because of like other people's projections, you know,
Right.
like
Right.
people saying, oh, because you had a child early, like you ruined your life, you're gonna be a failure at life, or having these high expectations from other people that I didn't feel like I could ever reach. So I'm like always trying to, you know, reaching, and the bar just keeps getting higher and higher. And
Right.
so having to break through that conditioning um allow me to put myself in a space that when I need rest, when I need a break, I'm taking it.
That's it.
When I need to shut everything and everyone off, I'm gonna do that. And I'm still working. I still got remnants in there where I'm trying to
I
like do
do.
everything all at once. And that's kind of like a trauma response. And, you know, the trauma response is the stuff that we all have. And it doesn't mean that just because you're in the healing journey that you won't experience it. It just means that you're more equipped to handle it, and you're more knowledgeable as to knowing when it's like surfacing. So, and spirit will sit me down too.
Oh yeah.
Spirit will sit my ass down like, somebody else gonna do that, or it ain't gonna get done at all, or don't even worry about it, like that kind of stuff. So I know it's a lot on my plate, but it's important to me. So I make do. I learn to how to manage it and find better ways to make it happen.
Awesome, awesome. So for the audience that's listening, I actually attended one of the retreats that you did a couple of months ago, and it was amazing. So tell me more about what you and your husband, like what all y'all do in the business that you have.
Okay. So in Supreme Essence Plant Food and Wellness, our tagline is we create sacred spaces for the evolution of consciousness. And so some of the things that we have are retreats. So we have the Awakening Retreat, a sacred journey to self, which is a trauma informed retreat. It's designed for you to have a self inquiry and exploration and discovery of self.
Mhm.
It's designed to address your traumas head on. It provides tools and techniques and exercises to help you address your traumas, your stresses, as well as deepen your connection with yourself. And we do meditative and yogic practices to help cleanse and purify and bring you up to like higher levels of elevation. Then we have yoga the soul, which is dealing with like the higher chakras, whereas awakening is dealing with more of the lower to the middle. It is more higher advanced yogic and meditative practices. We do shamanic journeying. I am a daughter of the fungi, so I do facilitate plant medicine for healing and shamanic journeying. And so we do that. We do cacao ceremonies. We teach esoteric education, helping people to understand their spiritual gifts and things of that nature. We have a Families Matters retreat, which is everybody comes, babies to however old, where we're doing conscious parenting, teaching about doing yoga and meditation within the family, implementing spiritual practices. We have the Raw Vegan and Juice retreat, which is a place for you to do yoga, meditation, eat raw living foods and juice. Also have the certification program if you want to be a raw living chef.
Okay.
We also offer personal transformation coaching, which is a program that we created that you like go through the steps in mastering self,
Okay.
as well as intuitive counseling, which is a combination of um, understanding the mind from a psychological standpoint, but also implementing intuitive insights. So me as your intuitive counselor, studying your energy, your aura, your body language, hearing the things that aren't being said, seeing the things
Mhm.
that's beyond just the surface, and helping you navigate and posing questions that keep you to navigate and understanding your own inner terrain. Um, we have master classes, we have courses, we have ebooks, um, as well as providing sound therapy, Reiki, guided meditations, and things of that nature. So it's really like, as it continues to grow, like the target of wellness, spiritual wellness.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And I'll just say that, that was my first time attending a retreat like yours. And I was new on sound therapy, had no idea what that was until attending your retreat, and it was beautiful, and now learning more into that, now, you get more interested in it and you want to learn more. And I love how there's so many different ways of healing, different avenues that we can actually take when it comes to healing. So you have your own music therapy business, right? So tell us about that, because I love seeing you play the guitar.
So, music therapy is a healthcare profession job. I have my master's degree in it, and um my passion in it is mental health, as well as working with children with autism and hospice patients, as well as like substance abuse and delinquent teenagers and things of that nature. So basically, we are therapists, but music is the bridge in which we use to reach our clients. Music is a universal language. I have opportunities to work with people who don't even speak English, but am able to, provide them therapy through this bridge of music.
Mhm.
Um, and music therapists use music as a non-music as a way to reach a non-musical goal. So, for example, somebody could have suffered from a stroke,
Mhm.
and we can use music to help the brain rewire and be able to help them build upon their speech, help them to build upon, their movements,
Mhm.
building upon just their interactions and daily routines and different things of that nature. Because music is one of the only phenomenons that is processed through all parts of the brain.
Mhm.
Whereas, like with speech, it is just in one part of the brain. And if that part of the brain is damaged, then you have no access to speech.
Okay.
But if music is on, because it activates all different parts of the brain, you can sing or hear a song and be able to sing the words, even though you've lost speech due to that damaged part of the
Mhm.
brain.
Right.
So it's really like, it's an evidence-based profession. Everything that we do has been, gone through clinical trials and different things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's pretty much what I
Okay.
do as a music therapist, using music to provide therapy in different populations.
Awesome. And I think it's amazing because a lot of people don't even know that music can be used that way. And so I think it's amazing to see that you do that and you provide those services to people. I know that during the retreat, what we got was absolutely amazing. Like I said, that was my first time. And, I'm sitting asking questions like, wait a minute, what's this? I didn't even know that this was part of it, because I'm more new into my journey. So it
Mhm.
has definitely been amazing. So I know that you do have a retreat coming up. one that's coming up very soon. So tell us more about that and if there's any more openings available.
So we have a retreat. It's actually the Raw Vegan and Juice certification program. It's next week um, in Miami, Florida, and we're going to be teaching our students how to make different raw dishes and juices.
Mhm.
Um, you can definitely still sign up if you'd like. And then after that is the awakening, which would be like 2 weeks after that or a week after that. Don't get me lying. But and that again is the one that's the sacred journey to self, the trauma informed one. Um, then we have another one in October, then the same, the awakening. And then in November, we have the yoga of the soul in Sedona, Arizona. And that one is going to be with the higher practices, doing the shamanic journeying, the plant medicine, cacao ceremony. And then in December, we have the raw vegan and juice again, but it's not the certification program. And that one will be in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow. Traveling and holding space. I love it. I love it. That is awesome. I'm definitely trying to get into the one in Arizona. So, listen, guys, make sure that you get this information. Her information will be posted below. Okay. So, make sure that you go to the website, check out her information, and sign up to these retreats. They are life changing. You hear me? When I got back home, I went to the one in Atlanta. And when I got back home, I, blew up my mom, even though she doesn't know anything about this part. She's still she's a Christian. I'm a PK, so my mom's a pastor. And I came and I'm just sharing with her. She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, but you'll get there. It's okay. You will get there. It's okay. So, Akiyla, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to share with us you and what you're doing. I think that what you're doing is absolutely amazing. I applaud you for being a mom, a homeschool mom at that, and still doing business, holding space for others, and allowing people to heal. Because at the end of the day, to me, that's the most important thing. We all need to heal. And as we continue to heal and become better versions of ourselves, the world can definitely become better. Okay. So thank you so very much, love. How can our audience reach out to you and connect with you?
You can reach me at info@supremeessencepfw.com or www.supremeessencepfw.com to check out the services that we offer. I am on Facebook as Akiyla McQueen and Instagram as the Fairmaid Dragini and a Vegan's Paradise.
Awesome, awesome. So listen, guys, make sure that you do that. And again, Akiyla is also our front cover. She is the person on our front cover for our September issue. So listen, you want to make sure that you go check her out, and also make sure that you subscribe to the magazine. Information below. Don't trip. Information below. Make sure that you subscribe so that you can get and to know more about what she does. Okay, and get her information. All right. So again, Akiyla, thank you so much for taking the time out. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I honor you and what you are doing. You have been definitely someone that I look up to because I love everything that you're doing. I love your energy, your aura, everything about you. It says exactly who you are. So thank you so much, love.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so
No,
appreciative. You have a beautiful spirit as well, and I'm just very grateful.
thank
Thank
you,
you
love.
for thinking
So,
of
and you're a Pisces. So that was March what?
me. March 8th.
March 10th. Okay. All right. So listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us on Healing the Inner You. Make sure that you follow us on all social media. Also, you know that you can hit me up on all social media at Nakia P. Evans. As always, we will be here again next Thursday with another episode of Healing the Inner You with another amazing queen who will share her story and their life about what they're doing to heal their inner selves. All right. So I'll see you next Thursday. Have a great one, loves. Thank you.